Yeah, get all the coughs out.
Yeah, getting all the coughs out.
Here we are.
What up? It's your boy AJ Marks.
And it's Megan.
Do you not want to gender yourself? Do not gender Megan.
Don't label me. My name is Megan Soliganto. And this is American Idiots Abroad.
Welcome back to American Idiots Abroad.
This is a podcast about AJ and I being American and studying here in the UK and learning about the culture along the way.
So on this podcast, we go through the differences between the UK and the US.
Try again.
I was like the US or the UK. I was like, am I saying the right thing?
We'll find out.
The UK and the US and I don't know.
And the stuff.
So I am from Boston. I came here in 2016, just before the Trump election and just after Brexit.
Womp womp. I am from San Jose, California, which is in Silicon Valley, California, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area, California. So I started studying here in 2014, and then after I graduated, I moved back home for a while, and then now I'm back for a master's.
She just couldn't resist it. Our guest today is Bronnie.
What up? It's Bronnie. Hey. Yes, I've heard this on the podcast.
Novelty air horn.
And today we're talking about education, just all the ins and outs of high school, primary school, university, college, tuition,
clicks.
The whole shebang, basically, you know.
So let's start off with the basics.
So in the U.S., we got preschool.
Yes, that's what it's
called. Which you go to when you're like 4?
Yeah, we have preschool.
Then
that's our preschool.
Oh, you call preschool.
Yeah.
Okay, so check.
We're matching up so far.
We got one match. Ding ding.
Ow.
Then we got kindergarten.
We don't have that.
Okay.
Yeah. We have reception. So that's like when you start primary school, so it's like when you're age 4 to 5.
Oh, no, that's pre-K for us.
Pre-K?
You skip pre-K.
Ah, okay.
Pre-kindergarten.
Preschool and pre-K, I think, are the same thing, right?
Mm-mm. You have preschool. You have preschool, and then you graduate on to pre-K.
You graduate?
No, I don't.
Oh, how to say that?
So you have reception, we have pre-K, then we have kindergarten, and this is where it really fucks us up in terms of the numbers, because we have kindergarten and then first grade and second grade and whatever, and then you guys have year 1, year 2, year 3, but your year 1 is our kindergarten, so we basically it's like starting at 0 and starting at 1 and then just going up. So that's
we're
why
one
you have
number off the whole time.
Yes.
So that's why you end school at year 13 and we end school at 12th grade.
Yeah.
Because you've done kindergarten. Yeah.
Our elementary school is from first grade to 5th grade usually. Sometimes it's until 6th grade. And then you start middle school, 6th grade to 8th grade.
Those are like the puberty years.
So you're literally in a new school for 2 years?
No, for
3 years.
3 years?
It was 2 years for me. It was just 7th grade and 8th grade because they were like, oh, let's put all the little shitheads that are going through puberty. And like, if you look back on it, you'll be like, okay, middle school, that was the worst time in my life. Yeah, it was just giving a name to a whole awkward stage of puberty.
And then you enter high school, like as
in your year 10 or in our 9th grade. That's when high school starts.
Yeah, and so high school's from 9th grade to 12th grade, so from like 14 to 18.
UK, so it's kind of like you get preschool, which is like 3 to 4. You get primary school, which is 4 till 10, I think. And then high school is kind of 11 till you're 18. But then the last 2 years, you get sixth form or college.
What's the difference between sixth form and college?
So high school is year 7 till 11, and then year 12, 13 is either you stay at the same like high school, which has a sixth form
inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or college. So it's like a different place.
So a sixth form is an extension. It's in the same building and everything.
Yeah.
And a college is something separate.
Separate, like campus, separate.
Yeah.
And both of them,
different,
both of them, you study just one subject or mainly one subject.
You normally do 4.
But B.Tech is more like vocational skills, right? Or like
I don't know. It's kind of It's like if you're doing music A-level, you'll study all the theory, all the everything. B-Tech, it'll
Is
be
more
like
practical?
performance and more practical.
So
yeah.
an A-level is a course, or an A-level is a test?
It's like a full course for
It's
2 years.
it's a course.
And you have an
okay.
exam at the end.
Okay.
But B-Tech, do you have an exam at the
You
end?
kind of do like, well, for A-level you got coursework, so it's like every couple of months you'll do coursework that it's like 20% of that goes to your grade and stuff like that. And then you'll do a big test at the end. But then with B-Tech, it's kind of like throughout. You don't really do a massive test.
So if you wanted to move on to university, you would do A-level or you would do...
Probably A-level, yeah.
If you did a B-Tech, you can move on to university.
I think people get let in to university more when you've got more A-levels, basically.
So university is what we call college.
College, yes.
But we don't say college when we're here because it gets very
It gets very confusing.
Yeah, everyone's
College
like,
to them
what?
is-
You in sixth form? Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
I think it's really kind of like alarming that as like a 15 or 16-year-old, you have to choose what you want to do for like ever, basically.
It's scary. It's like, oh my God, like, so many people I know who have been like, okay, I'm going to do law. And they'll do a law degree. They'll come out of it and they'll be like, yeah, I don't want to do this, actually. I want to...
Yeah, in this country, when you go off to sixth form or college, you have to decide what your 4 subjects are going to be.
Yeah.
Not like in the U.S. where you still just kind of have to keep doing stuff, but you can kind of pick which things you want to do.
Yeah, a lot of universities won't let you pick a major until after your first year.
Yeah, so like then when you apply to university, like my brother did, you can apply as undeclared if you don't know what you want to do yet.
Yeah.
And they can still accept you into the university, and the first 2 years out of your 4 years, you just kind of take classes and things that interest you, and you see what you want to do, and you don't choose until you're like 2021. Like what you actually want to focus on, which I think is much more practical than asking a 15, 16-year-old, so the rest of your life.
Well, yeah, exactly, because when you're 15...
Plan it now.
When you're 15 and then when you're 23, you're a completely different person.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So
When you're 15 and
you're
you're 18, you're a completely different person.
In an ideal world.
But yeah, it's insane how they kind of make you choose so early. Yeah.
Getting into university, there's like a completely different system, and I know because I had to go through that system. What was ours called? What's the American one? I forget the name of it. It was the Common App.
Common App.
Yeah, it's like UCAS.
Yes, okay.
So we fill out like a form pretty much, and then most schools accept the Common App, and you would just send it out to these individual schools. But you can send it out to a bunch of schools, and some schools charge you to send them the Common App. Whereas in the UK, it's a little bit different. I think you can only send to 5.
Yeah, you kind of send it off to, I think it's like your top 3 or 4.
UCAS you can send to a maximum of 5 universities. I know because I think I did 3, and they were like, you have 2 more left.
I'm pretty sure it's like a maximum of 5, and then you pay extra if you want to send more off. There are 4 years of college in the US.
Right.
And then there are 3 years of university here, usually, unless you do foundation year, which you did.
Yes.
Which is like the year, it happens before first year. So you have first year, second year, third year. And in the States, they have first year, second year, third year, fourth year, but they also have names for them, the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, which they have.
You don't get that. And it's like, what? So year 1 of university is...
Freshman.
And then sophomore, and then junior, and then senior.
And it's the same in high school. Freshman, you're 14.
Yeah.
Sophomore, you're 15.
So-
Junior, you're 16. Senior, you're 17.
That must be a weird transition when you're a 17-year-old who's a senior.
And then you're a
And
freshman
you're like,
again.
yeah, I'm a senior. And then, like, you go and it's like,
no,
oh
it's
my
true
God.
though. You go
like,
seniors, and then you go immediately to freshman.
Yeah,
It's a big wake up call. But in the UK, you can do like a foundation year before your first year. So then join the class of your first year if you decide to go on. And then some people will just do foundation year and then just have that be that 1 year, and then maybe go to a differerent university or
pull a Bronnie and just be successful.
And just be too famous to continue.
I'm too famous. Don't look at me. No eye contact.
A lot of the people I graduated with were in foundation year the year before me. So even when I was in my first year, they were also in their first year, but it was their second year. And they're trying to weed it out, saying freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in American universities.
Are they?
Yeah, because all my friends are saying, you know, now they're trying to get us to say first year, second year, third year, fourth year, because they think freshman has a lot of negative connotations attached to it. The frosh.
Is that the nickname?
Yeah, the frosh.
The frosh.
Yeah, the frosh. And then here, it's fresher. That's
Fresher,
the equivalent.
Freshers, Freshers Week.
So they're trying to get rid of the names also for the benefit of people who are doing like a double major and do 5 years at university. Also, another thing I think is really interesting is like British universities will have bars in their schools. And that's something that
Do you
like
guys not have that?
no, because most people because most people are underage.
Oh,
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, so that's something that a lot of my friends think is really cool.
And like how Freshers Week is like university sponsored debauchery, where like on campus you'll go to the bar, you'll just get fucked at like 18.
The university encourages it.
Whereas like
literally it's like get fucked, meet new people, go.
All right, so we're going to take a break.
and for now, what are we gonna do?
We're going to listen to your song.
Oh yeah, shit, we're gonna listen to my song.
Megan's song is now officially out. It's called Closure.
Yeah, so look up Sola, that's my name. SOLA.
Yeah, so here it is. This is Closure by Sola.
I was trying, I provided, but you decided we were fighting. How did we fuck this up? We were more than enough. I was made for your touch. You were my first love. I was your first love. It could be worse, love. Now you don't have to pretend that you'll stay. We got lost in every shade of gray. But give me one last goodbye. Would've hurt us to try. Yeah. Pull me a little bit closer. We can call it closure. Pull me a little bit closer. We can call it closure. When all my words start to fail me, we'll tell the truth with our bodies. We can call it closure.
And we're back. So what was that song about, Meg?
So this song is about like that special point in a relationship when it's ending. And
So special.
like it's all the mixed emotions that you have and like kind of the anger and frustration and sadness and sexual energy, and you just want to fuck one last time. No,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah. One last
No, but do you know what I mean though?
I
Where you're
need to fuck.
fucking fuck.
all right, school.
Oh.
Anyways, school. Hell yeah. Stereotypes.
Yeah, so just my like high school looked exactly like the High School Musical school. It was not nearly as big or as expensive or whatever, but it was just, you know, the colors are red and white, or at least to British people, they perceived it. They were like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is such an American school. This is like so stereotypical and whatever. And all those shows that like try to depict like a middle class suburban town where like everybody knows everybody and like rumors spread fast and whatever. Like
Wisteria Lane, Desperate Housewives. you
yeah,
know.
like that was my town. That was my town.
That's great though. I love
Like-
that. I'd love my town
That
to
is
go
a
that.
very different existence than I had. I grew up in the city.
Yeah. So exactly. So I grew up in that like stereotype of a town.
Yeah.
So when I watch those shows or anything, I'm just like, fuck you. It's not at all like that. Absolutely, in no part of any country does someone hear a rumor and then text it, and then 80 people pick up their phone all at the same time and look. No one has everyone's number. That's not a thing.
And then they all sing the song about it and all.
Is it uniform to wear uniforms here?
I mean, everyone wears uniform.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Like no schools that don't, or
No?
really?
Right.
I mean,
See, that's
if you're
crazy.
in college / sixth form, it's normally like you gotta wear business outfits.
Oh.
But everyone's like, fuck that.
I had a uniform until I was like 11, and then starting then you had like guidelines. So
Right.
it was like 2 fingers for like a skirt or something from above your knee, or like different things like that.
We had a dress code of like, for girls, we had that sexist dress code of like spaghetti straps. You have to do lasagna straps because you'll distract
Lasagna
boys.
straps?
I've never heard of that.
No, they jokingly called it lasagna straps.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a very sexist rule, and there was actually an 8th grader who got it repealed after I had already graduated high school.
Oh, hell yeah.
There was an 8th grade girl who was like, fuck you, we're not distracting boys. You don't have any dress code for the guys.
That's
like,
so good.
fuck
we
you.
had-
Especially for a year 8, because when you're in year 8, like,
For
you
us.
don't really get a lot of people in the lower years of high school who like stick up for themselves, who are like, hell yeah, we're gonna do this. Everyone's like,
I was so
rules.
shocked, but she got
That's
this thing
great.
repealed. And I was like, fuck yeah. She like started a whole Facebook petition thing.
Oh,
Smashed
good.
it.
Yeah, she fucking
Go,
smashed
you
it.
girl.
It's like Wild Child up in this bitch. Like,
But see, the thing is that's like really interesting is like AJ went to public school and I went to private school, and our education was very different. I would say very probably because we had like religious classes and we had different like we had chapels.
whereas we couldn't
and,
teach religion.
Yeah, I didn't really learn evolution or like different things like that. And
They don't teach evolution in Texas. You're not allowed to.
damn, that's wrong. Yeah, I'm still learning evolution.
Looks like you just pulled that out of your vagina.
Vagina.
Oh my god!
I noticed that.
My vagina. Sadie Hawkins dance, freshman year and sophomore year of high school, which is where the girls ask the guys.
Oh, cool.
And I never went to that.
like, fuck that.
But prom is like your senior year. You're at the
Right, yeah,
end. You can go to prom if
We
you're younger.
only get prom. That's like the only thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get prom.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like
I feel like that's something that carried over from the
you
US.
go and it's kind of like everyone like sits down, has a meal.
Yep.
No one's old enough to get drunk, even though like everyone goes to house parties every weekend.
Yeah.
So everyone gets drunk anyway, and everyone just like chills out. Everyone's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. It's like, yeah. You spend like 60 quid to like have a boring time. I was
Yeah.
the only person without a date like out of my friendship group, so I was like, oh my god, this sucks. But yeah, it was like a weird one. It was kind of just like, yeah, it's gonna be like American. Everyone's gonna be like having fun and woo. And then I was like, yeah, I'm bored. Let's go.
I know a lot of people who are trying to make like a stand against the pressures of having to invite someone to prom and that whole thing. But I always think it's a really good opportunity. I asked a girl to prom that I barely knew, but we were in the same show together, and then we became really fucking good friends out of it, you know? Like really good friends.
I feel like if you want to ask someone, but if you don't need to make a massive deal.
And I had her friends help me set up a giant room full of balloons. So as soon as she opened the door, and her twin was in on it too. And like as soon as they walk in, the balloons said prom on them. And the whole fun of prom is just that like, oh, we get to like put on the clothes. We get to dress up, we get to take pictures, we get to say it's like a magical time and whatever. Even though it's kind of like a boring day in itself, you look back and you're like, I was with people that I loved. And we were just kind of having fun going through something that's relatively not that exciting.
You do
know?
that
You
anyway.
think it's going to be like a big
exactly.
milestone where it's like, yeah, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, I was amazing.
I have this really funny story. My friend Hannah, shout out to Hannah. So her ex-boyfriend lived on this island, right? And there were 8 people in their graduating class of the high school, and they all had separate graduation parties.
So they didn't graduate.
And
like,
they would have them at the same time sometimes. So then people would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over to that one. And I'm just like, why
That's
not
so
just...
weird.
Why
I
not
guess it's
just...
for the family.
the same
though.
one.
Yeah, it was for the family, but I'm like, it's on a fucking island. Like, couldn't you just have like a big one, or have
A massive
or just
one.
like if there's only 8 existing, like, can you just have them on different days?
My friend, shout out Ian Yonko, he grew up in Idaho, and when he was in the 4th grade, so year 5, he was the only 4th grader in his class because he grew up in a town of 70 people. Everyone went to school in the same room, and again, one room schoolhouse. He was the only 4th grader in his 4th grade class.
Oh, and shout out Sophie, by the way. Sophie asked me for a shout out.
Oh, Oh, we didn't have school
People
bus.
on the bus. Who
Oh, we had school bus.
We had school bus.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, we had school bus.
Us Americans, we had school bus.
We do.
I'm in America though, like the yellow school buses. That's
Yeah,
the
we
cool
had that
thing.
school bus. We had yellow school bus.
We just don't have that. Like your yellow bus is like, I mean, like when you play The Sims. You feel
Yes.
me?
Oh,
Yeah.
The
yes.
yellow bus. That is the yellow bus. In the UK, it's kind of like a shit green bus. I mean, we get free Wi-Fi sometimes on the bus.
Hey.
Hey.
That is definitely not a thing on American.
I mean,
No.
I don't even think Wi-Fi was a thing when I was getting the bus home from school.
No, literally, it's like,
when were you fucking born?
The 80s.
Yeah. We would have school bus when we would go on field trips. That was like pretty much what, like, it depended on the field trip. Sometimes we would like chaperone with like different parents, and they would like, because I went to a really small elementary school.
Elementary.
Jesus Christ.
I went to a very small, posh elementary school.
I literally have never done that before. Watching British TV, like The In-Betweeners, and
that's so fun. Oh, I love it.
like, is that like
accurate?
an accurate representation? Like,
Kind of, yeah.
briefcase
actually.
wanker, like.
Well, I don't know. It's like you get the guys like Jay who bullshit about like sleeping with all these girls. Like you get like people like that. You get the stupid one in the group, and I mean in my high school, because I went to an all girls grammar school,
Right.
so you didn't really get a load of people bullying people. And then I went to sixth form in a mixed school, and it was kind of like it was cool because it was like the cool guys. They were doing drama, they do geography, they do like totally different subjects. It was kind of, they made everything cool. So in my high school, everyone was just friends with everyone, and it was a really good vibe because everyone just.
I think that's where like cinema and TV has kind of like it's clearly written by like 40-plus-year-old people
Exactly.
because
like people who went to school in the 80s. And
like 22 Jump Street, if you've seen it, is
Yes.
so right in the beginning where they're like, what the fuck? Like all these different types of groups, and like everyone's like the cool kids are like
There's not
the
much of a
socially
hierarchy.
conscious, like
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Yeah.
It's very much like that now, like in the US, I would say. Like one of my friends went to like a public school, and it was really rough in a very rough area, and she would send like videos of people like full fighting, like cat fighting, all sorts of fighting in like the quad after school in between classes.
But I'm talking about like the shoving into lockers and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was not allowed at my school because I went to a Christian school, and if that shit happened, shit would hit the fan.
But they're allowed to fight in the quad.
No, what they would do, apparently, I heard rumors that like you would go into the American football locker rooms, and it was like a time to be like, meet me there at like 5 p.m. or like whatever. And they would like barricade the doors or whatever, and people would like
God.
fight in there for like a designated amount of time.
That never happened in my school.
I don't know if it's true.
What was it like for you?
I don't know. For us, it was kind of a lot of it is online because you get like obviously like nowadays you got Ask FM, Curious Cat. Have you heard of those kind of?
I know Ask
yeah,
Basically, where
shit, like all
people you can
easily bully someone.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
They're
anonymous.
asking you to bully.
So
people.
I could be like, yo, I fucking hate you, but like, you wouldn't know that it's me.
Yeah.
And like
We had that
stuff
as
like
well.
that. And it's like the amount of, and then people like spread rumors and like stuff like, oh yeah, this girl from high school did this with this guy.
Also, fraternities and sororities. I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't know what they are or don't understand the purpose of them.
So is it like a clique of people like cheerleaders or not?
That's how you would interpret it.
Yeah.
It's like the popular groups, but in a
house?
Yeah, but in a house.
It's different. So in the first week or like weeks of university, there's something called Rush Week, where sororities and fraternities will extend their like hands out to the incoming class and be like, come join our societies in essence. So each sorority and fraternity represents a different like philanthropic cause. So they're technically raising money for like I don't know, different charities or like different things like that within a subject. So
that's the purpose for these institutions.
Right, okay.
Is that in fact it's not like it's a series of levels, like at least at my school, like you met the people and then you wouldn't know who you were talking to because they weren't allowed to say what sorority they represented or what fraternity they represented. You were just seeing if you got on, and they would be like designated people that were assigned from the sororities or fraternities to go and do that. If they liked you, they'd put your name on a list, and then you'd get invited to the next event, and then the next event, and then the next event.
So it's like a secret, like, oh god.
So like every day there was like a different thing, and you had to wear different specific outfits or whatever. And then at the end, so you would put like a list of choices, I think, and then they would put like a list of choice people. Some campuses have on-campus housing and for sororities and fraternities, and some don't.
And
so
some go, like, they have, like, 8 people live in a house, but they're not, like, the 8 leaders of the fraternity or sorority. They're just, like, 8 random people. Some fraternities will have, like, 40 members, and then 8 of them live in the house, and, like, the other 32 just, like, live in student housing. You know what I mean?
So, like, you don't get the housing in your first year. You get the housing, like, later on if you wanted to. Like, if it's on campus, so, like, your bigger universities will have, like, those stereotypical houses where,
everyone
like...
living in.
And, like, not everyone has to live there, but you have the option, I think.
Yeah. My sister's in a sorority.
So
shout out
those
to Miranda.
would be... Shout out. So my brother was in one. And he doesn't like when they're called frats. He's like, they're fraternities, because his was like actually doing good.
It's like negative
work.
connotations, yeah. And they have like chapter of the year awards and like
it's a whole
like
a national thing.
Yeah. Any excuse for a house party, people be like, hell yeah, woo! Whereas like me and my friend Kate, we were like little nerds. Like we'd get drunk instead and just like run around the house and like make fun of people.
Yeah,
like
same.
getting on each other.
I never went to a party in high school. I think I went to one party when I was a freshman, and there was like a group of boys huddled, like maybe like 8 boys huddled around like one beer can that they were splitting between all of them. And I remember being like, this is so fucking lame.
Yeah.
I was definitely a late drink bloomer. I didn't drink for the first time until I was like 16, and then I got a massive hangover, and I was like, fuck this. I didn't drink again until I was like 17, almost 18.
No, yeah, I think I was like 15, 16. It was at my uncle's wedding.
Right, that makes
So
sense.
it's kind of just like, yeah.
It was at a New Year's party that my brother was throwing at our house.
It was always like
Your
an
uncle's a
event
terrible
or like
influence.
either like runs in the family. Most people, when they drink for the first time, it's like a party or like an event. Do you know what I mean? It's never like by yourself, like oi oi.
Oh, it
14.
was for me. It was just me and my 2 best friends. Shout out Nick, the drummer of my childhood band.
Woohoo!
And shout out friend of the podcast, mathematics expert Liv.
Did you and Liv drink together for the first time? That's so funny.
I mean, it was my first time. I think Liv had already drank, and so had Nick. And I remember I kept going upstairs and being like, I'll get like snacks or whatever. And I'd take my drink with me, like suspiciously. And then I'd like pour half of it out and then fill it with water. And then because I...
Pussy!
And yeah, there's no Thanksgiving break here, obviously.
Obviously.
I did spend Thanksgiving actually. Wait. Who was it with? It was years ago. Wait, were you there? I think.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We
You
spent-
came to my Thanksgiving. I
Yes,
totally
I
forgot
did.
about this. In my first year.
Yes, we did. Oh, we spent
You
Thanksgiving
had like
together. Oh my
pink
God,
hair.
my pink hair. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh my God, whose house I was? Yeah. it was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you had your first Thanksgiving with me.
Yes.
I totally
my
didn't
first
realize until just
Thanksgiving.
now. This
Hell
is
yeah.
this is really
full circle.
Bringing back memories, guys.
so real quick. We have different words for things. Whereas you would say a year, meaning like the
Everyone in
people
that
who
year
graduate together,
Yeah.
like a graduating class. We would say a grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're in the grade below me. Oh, they're 2 grades above me. This is another thing we changed to grades. You say like marks.
You say grades?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
we say grades.
So you're in a grade and you get a grade.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So we're in a year, but we get a mark.
Right. Okay.
But sometimes we get grades, so it's like so confusing.
Oh yeah, like the A B C D. You guys use E too, and U.
Yeah.
You, I think, literally means ungradable,
Yeah.
right? So one rule of thumb that our university told us was Americans, for every mark that you receive here, mentally add 20% to it, because that is what the American equivalent grade
Roughly,
would be.
roughly, yeah.
Roughly. So here, if you get a 70%, you're fucking golden.
It translates to a 90%.
You have received an A, good sir. Well done.
Going on grades, you get like a first, or you get a 2-1 on something, or a 2-2, or a third, or a fail.
Yes.
And so a first is What a first is like a 70 or above? Yeah,
Use that in like in high school. It's basically like A, B, C, D, E.
Oh, so high school you use those, and then university it's a first is 70% or higher, which to Americans is kind of like 90%, and then an upper division in second class honors or whatever is a 2-1, mostly referred to as a 2-1. So that's like 60% to 69%. So for Americans, it's like 80% to 89%. I'm doing the math for you guys. Appreciate it, please. And then there's a lower division, so a 2-2, which is a 50 to a 59, which is a 70 to a 79 for Americans. And then third class honors, which is just called a third, and then that's 40 to 49%. And then anything below a 40 is a fail.
Right.
Whereas in the States, you have to get a 60 to not fail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Hence
it's
the
just
20%.
Yeah.
And this is only for bachelor's degrees.
Yeah. They have
master's degrees are different.
Check.
check.
We got an A+ / a first in that episode, I would say. Yeah, so thank you so much for being on,
Thanks for
Bronnie.
having me, guys. It's been fun.
And educational.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
We hope you've learned things
From us. Chatting shit.
From us,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Literally talking bollocks. You can find my music on Spotify. So if you type in Bronnie, so BRONNIE, hell yeah. You can go on YouTube. So all of my social media links are Bronnie Music, and then Spotify and iTunes are Bronnie. So
Even I can spell that.
hell yeah. Honestly, the amount of people who were like, "What's your name, Brian?" I'm like, no. Sixth form, first drama lesson. Bad memories.
So, Bronnie, her latest single, it is available to buy, yes?
Yes, it is.
And what's it called?
It's called Lost and Found.
And go find it on Spotify.
Yeah, you need to go find her music right now because Bronnie is slowly taking the world over by storm, and you
Slowly taking it by storm. This is Lost and Found by Brian.
Please get me out. Toxic words of yours are trying to drag me down. I'm sweet, you're sour. Your poison is igniting all the flames down my fire. As of today, you'll leave and walk away. What's done is done, there's no escape. You say everybody hates you. You make it so easy to do. You say everybody hates you. You make it so easy to do.
So there was this guy who DM'd me, this fan who DM'd me, and he goes, "Good morning," and I say, "Morning to you too." He says, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm well, and yourself?" He goes, "I'm pretty well, he. What are you doing? You are really cute." And I go, trying to avoid it, I'm just like, "Cheers, mate. Just editing the next
Cheers,
episode."
mate. I'm
Just-
from England.
No, just kind of. Aw, please.
Cheers, Governor.
Yeah, cheers, Governor. Just editing the next episode for the podcast. Comes out tomorrow. And then he goes, "Good. Tell me when it comes out, he." Even though I literally just said it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I go, "Okay, we'll do." And he goes, "Thank you." And sends a little kissy face and then goes, "I like your feet."